are coming to you from live from the not so sun drenched today, thankfully. Fields in Georgia. I mean, hindsight, I can just do this and it'd be easy, right? Gonna be a lovely walk home today, I think. And I've been listening to quite a few things on the little app as I did the ungodly number of breakfast items ordered today. For the record, if your boss makes you breakfast, that's a sign of endearment. If your boss orders you breakfast, that's just because they don't want to give you that bonus, and it's easier to pay $10 a head than it is to actually give y'all what you're worth hourly. But you didn't hear that from me. Today I'll be trying the original coconut milk drink, Nata de Coco. Hydrate naturally, original flavor. I already shook the crap out of it, so we're gonna see how it is. Not bad, actually. I was expecting a more abrasive sweetness, but it's sort of like I just bit into a coconut that was extra milky or something, you know? Not bad at all. Normally I have the strawberry one. Hello, random viewer. Is that you, David? Either way, I'm on my way. I'll be home soon, and right after I get past Carlisle's, I'll flip the camera around so y'all can watch the walk through my eyes, so to speak. Sadly, the payday didn't go so well. Now, it went well enough as it needed to, as we have enough to cover, like, probably pet food and power. Sadly, did not go well enough for me to do the $10 a month on PlayStation Network to get our Minecraft world live yet. Yet being the operative word there, we will get it live eventually. Like I said, that just kind of depends on when we can. Oh, they might be finally dealing with just the open sewer grate they've had there forever. Y'all get to see a little bit of that as I walk past. It'll be amusing if they try to say sidewalk closed, because there's no sidewalk. Sorry, I haven't quite learned how to do the ventriloquism and speak while drinking or eating. But I hope everybody... Oh, is there someone in chat? Hello, David. I see your name down there. Why is my chat so tiny today? I don't know. But we also still have Empower we can lean on if we absolutely have to for anything. And I put that 100 and Dave right out the gate. That way it'd be safe from the other, you know. Whew. It's a bit warm. So the final count on the order from hell was, first order was 120 biscuits. Second order was 80 biscuits. Both of these were planned for. It was after that, the order of 65 that came in, and the additional order of 120 from someone else. Give me a second, gotta get across the road. And the additional order of 120, it really fucked us up. We literally ran out of bread. It was not a fun time to be had. Anyway, that grate's been open for a good long minute. It's the one I've been smelling every morning for the past couple mornings. Not a bad beverage though. Not bad at all. Alrighty. Those gentlemen be busy with something. Let's very carefully, very cautiously make our way around this new obstacle. Howdy. Whew. I hope them gentlemen are staying hydrated and cool. Again, thankfully, probably because of the cloud cover, it's only 85 degrees out here rather than what it could be. Good. I wanted to make sure the camera was facing the right way. I'd hate for y'all to just be staring at my chest as I slowly get sweat developed on it. Like I said, some folks just don't respect the amount of space you're supposed to give a person walking. It's one of the reasons that the number of pedestrian deaths in America, outside of the fact that America is built for automobiles, not for people, but outside of that fact, the death toll, according to the Highway Safety Department, of pedestrian deaths, and for some reason that also includes people on bicycles that are not operated by a motor. I'm guessing that means bicycles specifically and tricycles and not actual motorcycles and or mopeds. But yes, pedestrian. And one more time. How long are followers and friends? Oh, I got 3 likes. I thank anyone who was watching. I don't quite know when it went away, but boy howdy was I all around. We're gonna try again for as long as we can. Here's our friend, the rebar that they're never gonna get rid of, because maybe this town was never meant to improve. They certainly can destroy the landscape though, can't they? They're real good at that. My, they should get awards for that. Still got the ankle stompers. Got them chompers there. I don't completely blame for being drunk. It was just a holiday a couple days ago, hey? That van that almost came off the road. Boy howdy, I wish y'all could have seen that one. I looked down right to see if I could have caught the tail light, or not tail light, but the license plate of it. And as I turned around to see if I caught the license plate, I realized unable to connect. That's what I get for being a poor and not being able to afford the highfalutin $80 something plan. Honestly, y'all, it'd just be nice to live in a place that doesn't have a price cap on everything. I never was a fan of the cyberpunk thing, you know? I didn't like it. Now, I liked Ghost in the Shell well enough, but, you know, I like the idea of in the future we get better, not just more shit. It'd be nice if it got better, wouldn't it, y'all? That's it. I say we strive together to reach the better. There was once a time when this walk wasn't so heat stroke inducing. I've told this story many times. I'll likely tell it many more. We better cut across here. But there was a time when it wasn't so heat stroke inducing. It was typically before they moved, back when water would actually stay in these culverts and they weren't so deeply cut in. But again, that was before they ripped out all the tree cover and let us get this crap rather than anything good and native to grow. Then again, I could be wrong. Maybe this is one of our native prairie plants. I just don't think it is, because it is so difficult to maneuver through. It is very difficult to walk through. But then again, I guess the difficult to walk through grass beats the sun-beaten desert they've installed up there where once a fertile forest was. Like I said, I realize forests are the megafauna of this place, and nobody really thinks about the plains but a few people. But I mean, forest, plain, I'll trade anything for this concrete cyberpunk dystopia everyone seems to want to be charging towards full force. And the climate crisis, it will soon be everyone's problem. Let's take them all. Oh, I can't show you all the pretty side of it. Oh well, not from this side at least. Eventually, if if Forget-Me-Not comes down today, and if she brings enough cash to go do the river tour or inner tubes, we'll go for a float. If not, it's cool too. I don't quite know how I'm gonna record it just yet, but I'd like to take that route too and show y'all our riverways versus this. Because the original natives that lived here, which eventually we'll take those trails and I'll read you the sun-bleached little placards that the Parks Department put up like 10 years ago. And it'll tell which Native American tribe specifically was this area. But it was the River Valley. And they mostly used rivers like that one there that cut through this entire town to transport themselves. Then we came, poisoned the river, and put roads everywhere. Because that's what we colonizers do real well. We take what was once beautiful and make it gaudy and pathetic. Like I said, it's just, I'm not that upset, you know, it's just, it'd be nice if it wasn't, hey, by the way, if you don't have a car, you better really plan out everything you do so you don't die on the hike. Because again, y'all, everything I do has to be carefully planned. Because if I don't carefully plan it, y'all can forget a something or something like that. If I'm not careful, if I so much as misstep by a half step, that's what happens. And I would love to tell you that the problem will solve itself, but unfortunately, friends, like all problems, no problem will solve itself. How y'all doing? Doing all right. Just heading on home. I said, there's still some nice people around. But it'd be real nice if we could get a sidewalk in or something for the good people. Regrow our natural plains at least. That way we and all the animals that are suffering on this road have a safer way to walk. Just literally anything but nothing. But then again, we all know what the good state of Georgia is going to do. Whole bunch of nothing. Because that's how our state operates. Now, if I were some big landowner where I was going to pay them a shit ton of money, then maybe they'd care. If I was some politician's kid or an athlete. But then again, I mean, let's face it, our country treats our athletes so much worse than they treat us. I mean, yeah, we might be treated like shit and cast off to die, but we clap while they blow their knees, destroy their bodies. Most of the time, if they're in something like the WWE or something more physical, destroy their minds. And we celebrate the fuck out of that. And 1 in 1,000 will actually make it. The majority of them, they get a ton of brain damage, never-ending pain from their joints and other parts, and the fame that comes with being famous for about 3 seconds until the fans forget you. Aren't you proud to be an American? Other fun things that I really wanted to bring up when Alan was just ever so despondent over the fact they're definitely going to cut his husband's Medicaid and his dad's military pension. And it's, well, they can't. They can't. Oh, but they can, sweetheart. What part of it? Nothing is God-given. Do you not understand? Because anything and everything can be taken away by a simple government doctrine. The only thing that prevents that? People hitting their breaking point. The problem is they ain't going to slow down. There was an article that I need to read all of before I talk to y'all about. But it's apparently Amazon made zero profits this time. They broke even. They're not hurting. But they finally hit the article said they finally hit the breaking point to the American market. Basically, they're charging as much and more than anyone can afford. So if they don't bring their products price down soon, they're going to start noticing a decline. Do you think they're going to make their product more affordable? No. What likely is about to start coming is massive layoffs from Amazon employees. The whole FIFO thing. Also, they're going to probably get rid of hired salaried employees, start cutting benefits, and doing everything they can to keep increasing those shareholders' values. Because, folks, you got to understand, to the companies and corporations, we don't matter. Not even a one of us. This is a really good beverage. Get the chance, give it a try. Whew. But yeah, I can feel it. Now I think all Americans are feeling the squeeze. But again, like I was saying this morning, personally, I wouldn't let it dwell on it, like let it get to your head. But I would always and keep bringing it up. Anytime anyone tries to bring up a damn thing about Trump, bring up the Epstein list. Bring up the hundreds of hours of clips out there of his cabinet talking about how they had tons of data and tons of files. And it was, bring up all of that, because here's the thing, y'all. Man's got a guilty conscience over something. He snapped like a motherfucker at that press conference. And Pressman was just like, hey, by the way, so you just lost all the data on what would have happened if Epstein had gone to trial? And Trump lost his mind. And he stood on the graves of hundreds of dead Texans in order to say, well, you should pay attention to this failure, not this failure. Buddy, we're going to pay attention to all your failures. I mean, we're not your sycophants. We're not your scum-sucking idiot legions. And yeah, they're going to love you no matter what, no matter how many children you hurt, no matter how many pedophiles you get off of prison, no matter how many things you do that are horrible and unspeakable. They'll love you because they're evil people. And yes, I'm sorry, that direct call out if you're a Trump supporter that's watching me. Feel called out, you are evil. Definitively, unrefutably. Care to debate it? We can debate it. But you evil, friend. Because you don't get to be simultaneously a good person and say, oh yeah, I'm cool with the pedophile list getting dropped so long as, you know, I don't know what the hell anyone that supports Trump is getting out of his support now. Just your hatred of migrants, I guess? Is cruelty the only point? Like I said, I don't mean to be mean. It's just, you know, cruelty seems to be the point. But then again, when it comes to the American layout of roads, cruelty seems to be the point. Because again, think about it, y'all. Uharley Road. This is the main way in or out of Cartersville. From Cartersville to Uharley, I should say. If you were heading out of Cartersville to go somewhere else, you'd probably be on 61. But main way in and out of Cartersville. Would y'all want to walk it? I would just love to see our politicians, police officers, all the people that get all the money. I'd love to see them walk this a few times. Because I have seen other people walk this road, just not many. Because here's the thing, y'all. If you bring sidewalks and public transit where people can move around like that, you'll start, especially here in America, maybe not everywhere in the world, but I mean, hell, y'all, you remember when I moved, one second. Y'all remember when I moved that big pane of glass out of the way because it was a tripping hazard? I want y'all to see something. There is now a giant ass piece of cardboard where the glass was. And the glass is right over there. I can get rid of some litter. I can't get rid of litter that big on my back with my bare hands. You know who could? Some of these old ass retirees that are flying down this road at 60 miles an hour, poisoning the planet to get down to bingo or whatever the fuck they're getting to. Like I said, it's just, if nobody's, much like this morning in the Dollar General parking lot. And once I get to the last mile towards the house, because up until that point, it's hard enough to carry mine, the kids, the groundhog's food over all of this unnaturally difficult terrain. Terrain that would not be as hard to traverse if it were at the bare minimal natural terrain for the area. Because again, y'all, if it were natural terrain for the area, the rabbits, the groundhogs, and the various other burrowing creatures, as well as the larger ones like deer, would have made several trails through here, and I could follow their natural trails easily and simply. The problem with these unnatural wild grasses, like this one here, is that once they invade, you can't really get rid of them. And I can tell you, as someone walking through this shit is uncomfortable as hell on your ankles. It's just steadily whipping me, as opposed to our more native brush grass. They look similar, but they're not. From here, one helps out the environment and feeds the birds and the various animals. The other poisons them and makes it very difficult to walk. But again, so long as we're letting ignorant people run our shit, we're never going to get anywhere. And the other one's cheaper to plant. Keep in mind that the more natural solution is also once again kept down because of all the natural wildlife, which would come back in abundance if you grew for them rather than for the apes. By that I'm not meaning the racial apes, by that I'm meaning all of us humans, because we grow stupid shit for us, even though we aren't going to caretake for the land or keep it up or even mow it down to make it to where it's passable. Because this is also how it spreads. Those hanging little nettles stick into you or your clothing or your pet's fur and ride along for a while before eventually getting found and tossed off. Now comes the fun, dangerous part. Will I be hit? Who knows? Take your bets, make your bets, place your bets. Who's drunk today? Oh, look, it'd be a pavement princess. Let's see if they can keep that princess on the road. They put cat on all their cars because they're pussies. I like to think that very, very childish dig was worth it. Like I said, I'm just tired of it, y'all. Are you tired of it? Well, we should all do something about it. Work together to change things. Hell, America, maybe make driver's license a little bit harder to get. And maybe make everything more traversable. That way you can get from place to place. Maybe employ some city workers and not just the slaves you have working from the prison department for, if they're in a good prison, 8 cents an hour for commissary, not for like money, commissary. There is no prison in America unless you're a big business tycoon that you'll go in and come out with more money. That's kind of how prison's supposed to work against. Now, again, if you're a big billionaire or something, you know, if Trump got arrested today and they didn't cut away his money, yeah, all of his financial shit would still be growing while he sat in some big federal prison cell chilling with the rest of the very well taken care of posh inmates. Personally, I think it'd have been fun to watch him have to go to the one here in Georgia. Because you know why they didn't make him go, right? Because he would have died. Because in our prison here in Georgia, there have literally been inmates eaten alive by fleas and bed bugs, like a medieval style dungeon. They would never put one of their rich boys in that. Hell no, that's for the protesters and me and you. That's for the peasants, not for the high ups. For them, they get the nice federal prisons with the really nice pressed jumpsuits and the soft beds and the heating and cooling, because there's the other thing about Georgia prisons. Most of our prisons, the only place they're air conditioned or heated, it's in basically the warden's offices, in the officers' places. They don't fucking take care of their inmates because it's not there for y'all to be taken care of or to learn anything. No, you're supposed to go there to be punished. Because punishment always works, right? Because if we slap you hard enough, eventually you'll stop doing that thing. I mean, let's ignore the fact that American prisons have some of the greatest recidivism, meaning people go back and reoffend. Let's ignore the fact that our system is inherently competitive, whereas something like, say, the French system, both sides are competing to find the answer or the justifiable cause of what happened. In America, we like to do a versus. Because again, it's more fun when you put their lives in a game, right? I mean, hell, we're all playing games. You just might not notice it. you know, until you fall where I'm at. And I'm not even the lowest rank you got. I'm going to a place that I can sit my shit down and be safe. Where once I get home, I'll be out of the 93 degree heat. And where I'll be able to get water from the faucet. And I'll be able to cook food like ramen. Now imagine, if you were, that I'm one of Georgia's growing homeless population. And I'm heading home from a 9 to 12 hour shift to a camp tossed by some jackass cop with all of my personal belongings burnt and my tent gutted. That's the kindness Georgia will give most folks. That's the kindness the world's going to give most folks. And that's what I'm saying. You, in a world of cruelty, where cruelty is the easy go-to response, I'm telling you to not do that. I'm telling you to fight that cruelty with a degree of kindness and understanding. Because again, think about it. It's like these rich folks driving around in their pavement princesses. Look at him. He don't even realize how hated he is by a lot of people. His company, anyone that works for him, definitely his Mother Earth. Because somebody who doesn't have to work is driving around in a, I'm a big boy tank. When in fact, it really just makes you look like a tiny whittle jackass. And that's coming from somebody who ain't even behind a car. Ain't driving shit, just walking. And trying my best not to die. Let the spike carry you, friends. Sometimes it's what you require. Like I said, the jackasses can't even plant native. These are northeastern pines, I believe. They're conifers like our Georgia pines, but they look more rustic and pretty. And they're also an invasive species that will slowly spread and start choking out our native Georgia pines. Because again, when we plan out our layouts, do we plan out natural, what was here originally, what's been here forever, what our great-great-great-grandparents saw? No, we don't do that. We want pretty shit. We want shit like in Better Homes and Gardens. We don't want the fucking North American plants. We want the Asian plants, and we want the European plants. And we want to keep all of our backwood dipshit American ways while we literally steal and ravage the rest of the world for their gaudy trinkets. That's my problem, is I want all the Asian plants in my yard, so they look super pretty. Are you going to embrace minimalism, friend? Are you going to embrace, understanding what the bullshit you're ripping away from a culture means? Well, of course not. Yuck. I just want to look rich. Quit trying to look like them. Look at me, friends. Your muscles are well earned. Your clothing may be stained with sweat and you may be exhausted, but you are worth 100 of them. The amount they're stealing from your checks, being the heads and CEOs and nonsense, the amount they're stealing from you, that is what you're worth compared to them. Because if tomorrow the workers said, fuck this, we're done until you come to the table and give us a living wage, together across the board, this country would collapse. We could get them to execute the clown on live television. And they would do it just begging us to return to work, please. The workers hold the power, not the CEOs. But so long as half of us are still asleep and trying to achieve, this level of gaudiness, we will stay. But their servants, but their lapdogs, while they kill us in Hunger Game-like fashion. And again, you think it's a joke. You think, oh, he's just being hyperbolic. No, y'all, look at the stats as the fucking thing plays out. When I beg you to read Project 2025, I beg most Americans just to read above a third grade level. Because that's why they put big highfalutin language in Project 2025. They knew most of y'all were too lazy to read something that big. And they knew you were too lazy if you had to read it with a dictionary next to you. Yeah, that shows my age, as if none of y'all wouldn't just Google the shit. But I mean, hell, if you Google it, you're doing better than most. You don't have any people, especially on the right. Oh, I went through ChatGPT. Okay, so you asked your subservient butler what they thought. How about you ask, something that's actually going to question you? Because anything you put into ChatGPT, it's garbage. It's a sycophancy machine for idiots. That's just the thing, y'all. It's nothing original that it's giving you. And you could do better on your own. If you're an artist putting down a stick figure, you're doing better than anything you do AI. I'm begging y'all to be more human, because the more we escape our humanity, the more we shut ourselves off, the worse everything is going to continue getting. Like I said, if just one of these people planted a natural plant, if just half of the horticulture experts, instead of planting what seems pleasant to sight, would plant what would definitely help the environment by being its natural thing that's there, we might be able to get certain things back in balance. But we're planting plants and wondering where all the animals have gone. Well, here's a tip. Fireflies feed off of a very certain type of river lily and river plant. How many of those we got? Because if they ain't got food, they're not going to be there. Where are all the butterflies at? Did you plant anything like milkweed or anything that a butterfly would eat? No? Well, then guess what? They died. You didn't give them any food. I ain't got none to hunt. The deer population keeps dropping. Why does the deer population keep dropping? Again, what have they had to eat other than the corn your dipshit ass bought at Walmart? All the plants that they grow, the wild fucking barley, the wild fucking plants, I don't know enough about Georgia wild plants, but the sunflowers, shit like that has been replaced by bullshit like this. They can't eat that. It tears up their stomachs. It'd be like you eating a pound of fucking Oreos, which I have done before, and I can tell you is a mistake. And you feeding them with corn just to shoot them in a season. Yeah, I guess you can take care of your small murder herd, your victims, but you're not going to take care of the population. The population isn't going to remain. And yeah, that's also why we've been getting this weird, well, there's not enough for there to be die-off, but somehow we're getting wasting disease. How the hell does that happen? Typically, wasting disease only happens when you don't have anyone to hunt the deer and the population gets out of control. Well, it can also happen when the deer don't have food. And again, so long as rich jackasses keep destroying large swaths of native habitat for sake of planting these eyesores to their fucking hubris, yes, we're going to have problems. Yes, the wilds will die while they green around us. And yeah, eventually nature will heal. The species that eat that plant will eventually move in to get that food source that you're populating the area with. The problem is, well, why do the lanternflies keep showing up? I can't imagine. Maybe it's all the Asian plants that they feed off of that you're planting. Why can't I get any of the pretty monarchs? I don't know. Maybe because you're planting shit for lanternflies to eat, not shit for monarchs to eat. Again, people, the world is not a magical thing farted into existence by a dipshit creator. It was created through thousands of thousands of thousands of thousands of thousands of years of very tiny, tiny, minute building on layer after layer after layer. This population goes to this population, which either loses or gains out to this population. And over time, those populations change. Whereas, now that we've hyped it up by dipshittery, yeah, now, who the fuck knows? Because something that would have taken literal eons for, say, a dogwood to creep up or a crepe myrtle to creep over here, well, now there's not only 100 of them, but there are hundreds of thousands because they spread their shit everywhere. Do the rich people care? The rich people don't even care that they're leaving their grandkids a burnt out husk. The rich could actually do something to change it, but instead of minimizing and maximizing their good, they buy 16, 17 fucking big ass vehicles. That way they can be sure that every single member of their household could go in 2 different vehicles if they wanted to. Why? Because vehicles are a status symbol in America. They're just as bad as those it girls trying to get their fucking Gucci bags. Except instead of a gaudy handbag, they've got a 1,000-pound piece of machinery they don't do dick with. Meanwhile, someone else is driving a busted-ass van trying to do Uber and keep their family afloat, making it work with a vehicle that's spitting gas. But again, they actually have to make it work. Richie McCuntface could easily move forward and go without it. But then you would ask the rich jackass to have less. And for that, they can't do it. I mean, again, the mega church is another thing that just blows my fucking mind with y'all. It's, how do you have a mega church if you've even read the book? The only through line throughout the entire Bible is if you're greedy, you're going to get got. And apparently the rich mega preachers just got y'all convinced, yeah, that means you should give them everything in life because they're going to get spanked in the end. Y'all, seriously? I don't get it. How do you square that circle? No one who follows or preaches the word of Christ should ever be rich. 20 years later, prosperity gospel's a thing. I think my preacher should be richer than the entire congregation combined and multiplied. Because I'm a dumbass. You go to a mega church, you are. Yeah, I'm losing followers today. I can feel it. I don't care. I don't. I'm tired. I'm burnt out. I'm literally watching a system eat itself alive, and people are cheering the shit on. Right now, from what I understand, the Olympics is coming back to Atlanta. And according to at least 4 or 5 of the sites on Google, when the Olympics comes to Atlanta, they are going to clean out and eradicate the homeless population. Do y'all have an issue with that language too? Because I sure do. That sure sounds like they're going to be doing some horrible shit. Now, of course, they're saying, oh, no, we're going to build little mini houses. We're totally not going to funnel them all into Cop City and let the cops gun them down like fish in a barrel. Which, again, maybe I'm being paranoid. Sounds a little paranoid. Then again, look up Black Wall Street. Look up any instance when anyone has ever gotten uppity with the government or said, no, I don't want to move. I'm good here, thanks. Check out any time historically anyone has ever done that. Because I got some news for you. They were terrorists. They were monsters. They were drug dealers. They were bad thing of the time so the government could run in and kill them all. That's what they were. I mean, let's compare. The Ku Klux Klan formed at Stone Mountain in its revival, but formed years before that, has killed over, when I checked in 2012, has killed over 300 black men and women and Democrats. And the Black Panther Party, the Black Panther Freedom Party, or the Black Panther Resistance Party, has killed 2 of its own. There was a mix-up in the early days, possibly a traitor in the ranks. Hard to find real hard data, but yeah, arguably Black Panther on Black Panther violence, 2. 300 dead, 2. 1 is still okay, and most members of Congress have been either a part of it or know somebody that's been a part of it. The Klan is alive and well, unfortunately. Black Panther Liberation Party, well, technically that's a terrorist organization according to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which has now got less funding than ICE. Again, this is just basic bitch history, y'all. Now, yes, I'm simplifying the fuck out of it because I think you should go read the books for yourself. But yeah, look it up. They had their reasons. There were fucking threats, I guess, or whatever. But again, don't ever assume that this country is anything other than the racist shit it is. And now they're just masked off. I mean, now you need to fight because there ain't another choice. And now comes that time when you get to see who's actually a loudmouth that's going to fight for the groups, or who's going to quietly just, yeah, Queens, but I'm over here for you. I believe in you. Now, granted, I'm poor. I'm broke. All I can fucking do is get on here until they cut my signal or I run out of money to afford it. And tell folks, yeah, the LGBTQIA plus is a cool group. And ain't nothing wrong with them. And they don't want to do shit to nobody. They just want to be left alone and do good for the world. That's all I can do, but it's more than what most folks I know do. Like I said, hell, there's been a break? And this is the time when we need to remember there were gay Nazis. There were fucking black Nazis. There were Jewish Nazis. And then there was the Night of Long Knives. And then all that was left were the white Nazis. Right now, the new Nazi party, the Trump Gestapo ICE people, well, right now there are Mexican Nazis. There are Hispanic Nazis. There are white Nazis. There are gay Nazis. There's all sorts of Nazis. They haven't gotten their power together yet. Once they get their power legitimized and no one can stand against them alone, well, then you're going to see a Night of Long Knives. Maybe a different kind of night, considering we're in America and as a country we're kind of scared of knives. It'll probably be a Night of Long Guns or some shit. But still, it's coming. And it will happen. Mark my words. If things don't change, it will happen. Because it's part of Project 2025. They're coming after gay marriage as soon as they take care of their little trans problem. They're already in the works of it, making it harder and harder for gay and lesbian couples to adopt. We live in a country where the adoption system funnels more children into pedophilic child rings. And by that, I don't mean they're intentionally doing it. I mean, quite honestly, please, send our foster kids to the gay couples, because at least then they're going to be taken care of. Most straight couples run their fucking children like it's through a corral. They make money off the state doing it, so you typically have one parent that works a part-time, the other one works full-time taking care of the kids, and them kids get horribly abused and or neglected. Now, I'm not saying every case. If you're a foster kid with good parents, I know a few of those exist, and more power to you. I'm happy for you. But for the vast number that don't get that, again, why are you making it harder for gay couples to adopt when you got straight couples abusing them? You got monsters like the Duggars out there and shit. And that was a family that was fully funded by the Christian church. Hey, let's not look at that one too deep, huh? Considering every time something horrible, unspeakable happens, well, it was funded by the Christian church. Ain't that a weird coinky-dink, huh? I mean, one group of possibly Islamic terrorists attacked 3 buildings in a field one time, and America gets a free pass to be Islamophobic for fucking 10, 15, 20 years. And I mean hard racist Islamophobic. Christian church has put more children into danger than any other group, has pimped more children out than any other group, has killed more children than any other group. But if I get on here and start talking about how bad the church is, I'm going to have 10 or 15 people popping up saying, but Jesus loves you. But my religion, but my people loved it. Yeah, your people also married your meemaw when she wasn't but 10, didn't he? Just saying, we get better as we get older, or at least that used to be the trend. But now I fear that the capitalists have found their fucking perfect tool. With a cross between ChatGPT and AI image generators, yeah, you got people out here thinking that they got best friends and therapists in their Tamagotchi pet, because that's about as much technology goes into ChatGPT. And you got people leaving their actual physical loved ones for the virtual world, for their AI girlfriends. And again, I don't understand how, because I have tried it. But hell, it's like that TikTok. People love the fuck out of it. I tried it. I frustrated everyone that knows me, because unlike Facebook Shorts, there's a lot of TikTok you consume all at once. And unlike Facebook Shorts, there's no break. So it's like you'd get 100, 200 pings from me in a day. Ow, that was sharp branch. But here, friends, because I need to go and relieve the nature for a minute, and I'm gonna go relieve it in that area, I'm gonna leave you up here. Stare into the grass and off into the distance. Please don't go anywhere. I'll be back momentarily. Thing didn't disconnect. I know the headphones did because I walked far enough away that I heard it say it disconnected before I started, relieving the urges into nature. I don't know how else to say I peed, y'all. Either way. It's a sweaty, sweaty day out here, then the sweat is not cooling me even a little bit. But as a responsible citizen, I put my glass bottle in my bag to carry on with me. Because unlike the rest of you nasty fucks can't even carry your piss bottles in your fucking vehicles, I'm a responsible citizen. And I carry it like Frodo carried the One Ring to Mordor. And again, for the record, if you're one of my subs, you are excluded from the, pitching session. I'm assuming if you like me, you probably strongly feel the same way I do about littering. Hey, yo. I don't want to step in the football area. Give me just a sec. Give me just a second, y'all. Here. I don't think there's any roadkill in the direction this far back. We've already passed the 2 to 3 liquefied animals. And I'm working on getting this lid off. Hey, but yeah, y'all, damn it. I might just have to sit you down and let you have an enjoyable stare around first. Anyway, that's not very enjoyable. There we go. That's better, right? There we go. Hell yeah. Great view. Damn it. There we go. There we go. Also, the AutoZone hasn't opened yet. In case you were wondering, David, I checked. It is not open, sadly. So if I had needed a cool, refreshing beverage or a muffler, I would not have been or an air freshener for all the roadkill I'm having to walk through. Maybe I should just do that and, like all the drivers, just stick an air conditioner on my hat. Y'all know what I mean with I haven't seen but maybe 2 normal trucks the entire time I've been out here walking. It's like the Jeep is the new truck, and I'm kind of scared to say that because I already know there's a whole ass Jeep culture. Oh, that feels so nice. Y'all, give me a second. Oh, that feels so nice. That cool storm air. And a swig of my delicious coconut milk drink with strawberry flavor. Lovely. I'm probably going to get rained on. I hope not, but it's a very strong possibility. But the thing I was listening to today, other than just the impending doom of our country, was Robert Sapolsky's Determined. And it also is kind of like not great mentally, but you know, it goes over how we don't, it goes over how we don't have free will, we don't have free choice, and I listened to the experiment several times, so I'm going to try to explain the experiment they went through to explain how we do not have free will. And the way they found that was basically, they found no part of the brain that did not immediately correspond to an idea. And they did this experiment where they basically hooked you up, well, not you, but hooked their test subject up, put holes in several of their test subjects' heads, and monitored their brain patterns, the everything. They monitored the patterns of like See, this is why having a brain scientist explain brain science things is better. But they had them hooked up to an EEG and an EEKG and a CAT scan. And then they basically told them to not think about a certain topic. And to, when they were going to think about the topic, go ahead and hit this button. By the way, here's a really cool little clock that'll show you to the microsecond exactly what, like, you know, to the microsecond, how long you're thinking about not hitting the button. And to the button. And when you think about hitting the button or think about thinking about hitting the button, we'll see it. And every time the nerve endings seem to respond without any kind of cue from certain system. And we figured out that it basically works as a switch. Basically, what we would call our instincts is a chemical trigger. And all of the chemical reactions are built up over a lifetime of choices. And they found that this is actually through a through line. For example, most children that lived through the Dutch hunger winter, something that America is going to have its own sometime soon, but the children that lived through the starvation, the Dutch hunger winter, their children also had a lower metabolism rate. Basically, when they would take in food, their bodies would hold on to every calorie they could. And that persisted for 3 generations until it whatever it is, disappeared as a genetic trait. But it's, like I said, it's something that your decisions aren't yours. They're your decisions from years and years and years and years ago. A decision your mother made while you were in vitro could very well have a handle over how you handle the situation. Or if you want various experiments on this, again, people are more likely to send down a harsh punishment if they're having to do something or deal with something gross. If you really, really want someone in court to get a bad day, let off a stink bomb or have someone near the judge fart. The judge smelling an unpleasant odor, and as sad as it is, as parlor trick as it is, he will be harsher with that inmate. I mean, it'll also be shown with teachers and students, with parents and children. Ditto 4, have them put their hand on something that feels like raw chicken or in something that feels like skinned grapes, and then make a decision. We are far harsher with our decision making, far more black and white decisions when we are upset, overheated, hungry, or doing something we find gross. Another fun thing, If you want to make someone wash their hands without specifically telling them to wash their hands, have them tell you about a time they did something they find particularly distasteful. One of those, what wakes you up at 2 a.m. and your brain's like, hey, remember that one time in high school? Or whatever. If you make them think about something they did that they find morally reprehensible or mildly gross, then basically what'll happen is they will wash their hands as an instinct. And when you learn these facts, our entire criminal justice system seems to be broken, because what this means is you can't punish away bad behavior. Look at that, prairie daisies. Gotta take a minute to enjoy the actual natural wildlife of our area before it's gone, eaten away by jackasses. I'm not trying to get any particular car, just traffic never wants to work with me. I was aiming at the style specifically. Started and still almost halfway home. And imagine if this was natural grassland, I would already be home, because I wouldn't be having to kick every other step to cut these very stringy Asian grasses. Okay, be honest, I don't know if they're Asian grasses. I'm pulling a lot from the Alabama natural thing, and a lot of what I'm saying is based out of a little bit of ignorance, but a lot of heart in the right place and wanting to just, if I could, walk through here and pluck this shit out before it goes to seed, which it's already currently doing. That's what all those little black things are on it, are tiny little barbed seeds, which are currently digging into my god dang legs. Sorry, y'all. I know it's a loud day show, and I'm sorry about that. I try to make it funny, but it's hard to keep material on hand when everything I have on hand I have to carry via my hands. And it'd be easier if I had a partner, or anyone that could walk with me, or anyone that would like to try to prove how tough they are by walking with me. Yeah, I know that don't happen. Like I said, I kind of feel like I'm part of a dying breed, and that's not a good thing, but it's also not something to self-grandize over either. It just makes me sad. Because again, y'all, if all of y'all just gave up your cars for a day, if we all just collectively hiked around, anyone that was able, and any of y'all with health insurance actually started making it the state's problem, like I plan on doing. If I have a heat stroke, David, call 911, get the ambulance. I won't let them take me to the hospital, but they'll at least have water and all that. Make it the state's problem. Eventually, if you make it the state's problem, they'll do something to fix it. Then again, knowing this state, they'll probably just arrest me or break my legs. But yeah, this is U Harley Road in all of its walkable glory. Some poor schmucks are paying $300,000 starting price for a house in that place. Know if you pay $300,000 for one of those lovely tacky box houses that aren't well ventilated and were built in under a year, you're also going to be taking on the joy of this as your route in and out of work. So you better keep a vehicle under you as well, with all of the massive insurance payments, and probably, if you got a newer vehicle payments that go along with that. Or option B, we all just get along, start getting together in huge ass communes, and basically we kill the landlords by refusing to, not doing violence, but just by nobody ever pays rent again. We find little wild places to build little communes on natural reserves, and we basically choke out the landlords that way. Because here's the thing, their system relies on, oh, well, you don't want to pay the rent? Fine, they will. What happens when there's no they will? Again, my plan is radical, and it only works if people get along. So I know my plan will never work, but damn it, someone has to fucking say it. Y'all Y'all can lambast me for it even, but please show me where I'm wrong. Show me where, if we all got along, we couldn't just peacefully rip the power down. And by that, I do mean just that, peacefully. Making the hard decisions, but sticking together so they're not so hard. Because again, you want to stick a blow to fucking Elon? We did. I say we stick a blow to all the car dealerships now. Every single corporation and company that got rich while we died. I say we strike a blow to them. I mean, that's just me though, y'all. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Maybe I'm the only one seeing it. I am a little crazy, so maybe I'm the only one seeing it. This is in no way a call to violence. Because understand, the state owns the monopoly on violence. You will not win. All that will happen is they will come in, kill you, and then make you look like the villain. Meanwhile, you know, the bestest friend of the greatest child trafficker of our living generations and age is currently the President of the United States. Arguably, the person who helped make the most dangerous child sex trafficker in our own time is sitting in the White House with a Fox News drunk host and a man who just voted to strike down SNAP benefits after writing a whole ass book about how SNAP benefits saved him. Y'all, I'm not asking you to do a revolution because I already know America's too cowardly to come out of their shit sack to do a revolution. And I wouldn't do one, so I wouldn't ask y'all to do one. What I would do is be spiteful. What I would do is for all the ICE officers that are begging us to call them human. Okay, piggy, whatever you say, hoggy hog. And exactly that. Treat them with as little respect as you can, because they deserve no respect. That as long as you're saying that we should fucking obey, well, how do we have any rule of law if the law has no rule to it? I'm just saying, I'm not saying to rebel, I'm not saying be violent. I'm saying I take this walk every day I walk, every day that I work, that I don't have a ride in a community. I'm begging y'all to build a community. You don't have to do this. And I'm saying that if we could all build a community together and work together, there's no reason anyone has to walk through this kind of hell or see this kind of nasty. We could see beauty like take out the poisonous plants in it, and we could see some beauty like some of this. Wild sage plants that are growing, various types of vines that are native to Georgia, hats. I'm smelling something real foul, so give me a second. We're gonna focus on me till I can figure out where the foul smell's originating from. Because again, y'all, I do care. I'm trying to shock and awe you with my words, not by gross images of roadkill, which there is an ample amount on this road. And no, I'm not that guy. If you want that guy, there's a fellow in the UK that eats roadkill. Like as a social experiment, it's dead and it's got to be eaten anyway, so he does it. I be honest with y'all, I wouldn't be totally against it if I knew how to guarantee I wouldn't get sick off of it. But I can't guarantee I won't get sick, and I'm not in England where I can get health care. I'm in America where if I get sick, I'm probably just gonna die. I mean, hell, most Americans die of preventable things because we let them go so long, and people try to pretend like that was our choice. When in fact, most of us let things go because it's either pay for this medical thing that might help, or definitely get food that you definitely need. Take your pick, friend. This is America. You can't have both. I mean, hell, y'all, I'll give you a funny example of that one. It's been... How many videos has it been? How long has it been since I started? And the whole time I've been streaming, I've been trying my best to just get $10 so I can buy the... more like $30, $40 so I can get a few months. And we can do a whole, if you want to play on the live stream, come play with us. I've been trying to get that together for what feels like almost a year now. I know it's only been a few weeks, maybe a few months. See, I try not to pay attention to time. If I think too much about time, I get awfully depressed. But yeah, y'all, it'll get better for me and for you. It always will eventually. And remember, there is no such thing as karma. What goes around does not indeed come around. What happens is we make the difference. And much like keystone species, that is specific species that hold an environment together, many places have what are considered keystone workers. And they're people that just that. You'll never notice what they're doing until they stop. And as soon as they stop, well, then stupid arguments start to happen. Because people that have not changed what they're doing at all, same amount of work they've been doing, will suddenly be expected to do just a little bit more. And they don't do that small amount of work they do without begrudgment. So yeah, take care of your keystone workers. Your keystone workers will take care of you. Overwork the shit out of them, and well, system starts to break down. It's just what happens in the natural order of things. And yeah, we haven't begun to break down yet, but I can already tell where the threads are starting to fray at. And while I would love to stop it, I don't know how one can go about stopping it, considering, you know, it's... A lot of us think I had sweat. That wasn't some kind of fun hidden symbol. I had sweat literally about to go down my wrinkled ass eye into my, well, down my wrinkled ass eyelid into my wrinkled ass eye. Right now my ankles are burning from the poison oak and ivy. I'm wishing I had that gel shit that's sitting probably directly next to the PlayStation 3, 4. Like I said, y'all, it's not as hot as it could be, but boy howdy, would it be nice if it was as cool as it was last year. Or if I had any kind of a place to sit. Any kind of a place at all. That's the thing, y'all. This is 4 miles. And a long while back, but admittedly, a while back, like I'd say 4 or 5 months ago, right here, there was a log. You can see it sort of in the deep bush over there, but it was a little bit further up, and on occasion, one could, oh, here come that rain, and on occasion, one could, I'm gonna pull you up under my hat here and see if that works. But on occasion, one could sit on it. Now, there's literally nowhere to sit between here and there unless you have money to pay for a meal at one of these local gas station restaurants at the end of the trail. Or I guess if you got money for one of the restaurants at the beginning. The Korean place is finally open for business. Got their signage up and all, and it kills me that I can't take David by there. I had hoped to do it this payday. But sadly, a taxi cab out there costs $20. And that's $20 one way. Let alone us go out there, get something to eat, have a nice meal, pay for the meal, and then come home. That might as well be a dream. And it makes me very sad. Because I work awfully hard, y'all. I'm not saying that I'm the hardest worker. Well, I'm not saying I'm the hardest worker in America. Not even the hardest worker in the corporation. But I work hard. And I've cut out so many fun things. At this point, I don't even purchase weed anymore. I just buy vapes. And I try to limit that down to 1 a payday now. And I still can't even afford to get a good meal for us. Nor to get anything that's worth, building on. My art supplies are completely, you know, and I'm not getting down on myself here, y'all. It's just to let you know, times be hard and venting a little bit. It's like, hell, all of my art supplies are hand-me-down, either other people's abandoned projects or projects that I had that were going to go to other things that are just gone now because that plan's gone. And it's exhausting, you know. But hell, I'm also in the process of finishing up Steven Universe. I'm in Steven Universe Future now. Oh, isn't that nice of them? They got a teeny tiny little wild patch of field. This is where we'll get some deer every once in a while. Because out of all of that massive amount of land that they dedicate to their own dipshit hubris, they give one teeny tiny itty bitty portion to prairie sage, stinkweed, and a few wild grasses. And every once in a while, not frequently anymore sadly, but every once in a while, there's a lovely little family of deer that run through there that have been here for ages. It's gonna be a sad day the day that I look out there. Well, the week that goes by that I look out there and I don't see them. Because that'll mean that the last wild deer herd I've seen has moved on. And that'll mean that the country that I once knew that was wild will have fully been conquered at last by these corporate bastards. Like I said, y'all, it's not to wax poetical. Fuck, maybe I'd be as hubris as the rest of these jackasses if I was living the dream with them. But all I see are dead animals, dead plants, growing just darkness around us, and now dying communities, because we're just, I mean, at this point, we're just giving it away, ain't we? Just take it, rich fucks. We don't care anymore. I mean, nobody's even fighting or even trying to fight, it seems like. And that's a depressing thought, and I try not to let it get over, because I know the fight continues. It's just, you know, I'd like to see and hear a few wins. And not those, you know, oh, we got a good laugh wins, but no, I mean, like, how is the world not slowly being dragged back into the 1920s, soon to be the 1820s? I mean, how long until a child born in America knows if they're safe to leave the state they were born in? How long until anything means anything again, you know? Sorry, y'all. Took a dark turn there. I didn't mean to. It's just exhausting. I'm almost home. When I get home, assuming I don't get waylaid for 30 minutes to an hour to just pick up crap, pick up more crap, pick up the fresh crap they made, finally get out my boots, walk the dogs, pick up crap, change the litter boxes, and then finally start my live stream at 7 when I meant to start it at 4. Assuming that doesn't happen, like it probably will, and assuming Forget Me Not doesn't show up, which she probably won't, I'll be doing a live stream just as soon as I can, and maybe the virtual world will bring me a tiny bit of joy. But right now, I've cooked more food than I've ever cooked, and yet I am hungry. And I'm tired. And it's just, like I said, the good news is getting rare, but we still got each other. And as long as we got community, as long as we got each other, we got more than most. Yeah, y'all. It's gonna be okay. That's the thing, though. It's gonna be okay. You just gotta keep marching. I mean, if you listen right now, I can hear some kind of bug. I can see the robin. Couple robins. There's still life. Life among the damned and dead. There's just also so much wasted potential in space. And yeah, y'all, when I say that America is getting dumber, that's just the thing, is it feels like we are, because when I Googled something back in the day, or when I Google something today, I would Google it, get multiple results, weigh those results, look at if it was a .org versus a .gov versus a .hist versus whatever. And I would like put to weight what I'm reading. I'd read 4 or 5 articles before I would make a good decision and feel confident in it. Nowadays, I look at the first thing that it gives me, then I look at the second thing it gives me, then if the two things don't go against each other, it's okay, fine, cool, move it on. And yeah, that's my own thing, but hell, I do better than most. Most of them just, ChatGPT, what's this? And they just go with whatever the AI vomits at them. Oh, yay, someone's having a birthday. That's sweet. Oh, that is sweet that someone's mother's having a birthday. And they unfortunately decided to stick that stuff up on a windy day. I'm assuming that just says happy birthday, Christy, and doesn't show her age. I think it'd be kind of rude since it's a mother and not a kid. Kids get excited about their age. Once you get past drinking age, it seems like you stop caring. The excitement about the age goes away and it just becomes, numbers. The running joke used to be, I cared when I turned 16 because I could smoke. Cared when I turned 18 because I could play lottery tickets. Cared when I turned 21 because I could drink, and then 60 because I could retire. Now it's when I turn 21 so I can drink, gamble, and smoke. And when I turn 90 so I can retire. God, we fucked ourselves, haven't we, folks? But at least some people get to have lovely makeshift country lives, paid for by the blood, sweat, and tears of all the others, all the potentials. And in a housing bust that's going on right now, all I can really hope is that these renters lose everything. And that's a terrible thing to hope for each other, but I do truly hope that for some of these assholes, because they are assholes. I'm sorry. It's like ghosts. Then again, maybe I'm the asshole. Like I said, I'm no fucking genius. I just read books. I see the patterns and I get upset because everyone else, when I point shit out, just, well, if I bury my head in the sand hard enough and pretend strong enough, it'll be different. And all that goes through my head is no. That's not how it works. If that'd be how it works, I wouldn't have been sent to an insane asylum as a child. My prayers to God would have been answered, and that teacher that got on to me would have just let the shit go. But that didn't happen, did it? Because this isn't a fucking first try or first draft. This isn't a, what is it? This isn't, what do they call it? This isn't a simulation or some other horse shit. This is our one go at this. And I spent so long not paying the fuck attention to anything. And now that I'm looking at it, feels like just everything's pissing me off. Or it's so beautiful it could make me cry. Then again, maybe I've just been living in survival mode for too long. Because honestly, y'all, I can't tell you a single 3 days that has passed in this entire... In the last 3 presidencies, I can't tell you 3 days that's passed that I felt 100% safe. Like, okay, nothing bad is going to happen immediately to me or anyone I care about. Everything's okay here. I haven't felt safe in so long. I don't even think I could comprehend what that safety's like. I had it for a short while, for about 2 to 3 weeks after we kicked the meth heads out, and son of meth head was too scared to fuck around. Because at that time, the sheriff was actually, you know, intimidating. But like I said, that was about 2 weeks, and I still have a picture of Shifu in the hammock because he looks so fucking cute. I miss that time. Like I said, hell, just the simple act of being able to sleep in my hammock again would be wonderful. Be an ease on the back. And if I could have one day that my back and that left side weren't feeling like I got beaten with bats, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But the hammock takes up so much space, and I don't even think I could find all the parts for it anymore. So much like the rest of my dreams, the AT bag that has now become a bag of cat shit. We just move on, you know? And it's what you do. I mean, honestly, some of y'all have asked, well, how is it when your Minecraft world gets blown up, you just, oh, well, fuck, oh, well. Because, y'all, my real world is blown up so many fucking times. Compared to that, shit, ain't nothing. I get sad because, you know, I'll never be able to finish those bases. Not nearly as sad as I get thinking about, you know, what could have been. But again, y'all, most of what could have been is shit that's never could have been. It was could have been in my fantasy and my delusion of what America was before I realized what it is. Which it is a capitalistic wasteland hell-bent on killing all of us. And what it's not is anything in the fucking realm of just. Like I said, y'all, sorry to be doom and gloom. It's just mighty fucking hot. And them big birds have been following me for a minute. I think the buzzards think I'm gonna die. They don't realize I died on the inside so long ago. No, I'm kidding. They're actually circling the neighborhood up here, so there's probably, I don't know, a deer, some other large animal that passed away on that area over there. Possibly of a heat stroke because they've been taking away the canopy through here like crazy. And this used to be a very, as you can tell from the ground cover, shady, nice area. For the record, if I'm not badly mistaken, this, let me, why can't I orient my camera, you jackasses? This, if I'm not badly mistaken, is milkweed. I say that because I have seen, I say that because I have seen butterflies feeding in that area, and more importantly, I have had to gently knock several hundred caterpillars off of me before through there. So, I mean, you want to see wildlife exists, it's not the time, otherwise I would have shown you caterpillars. But it's just little areas like this where the wildlife's allowed to grow and where the rich assholes can't quite reach yet. Yet being the imperative word there, unfortunately, much like the Tyranid Empire, capitalist greed never ceases to hunger. It wants to eat everything and spit out nothing but mediocrity. It takes a beautiful fantasy game where people can be bonded together for fairly cheap and turn it into an entire, well, what has D&D become, friends? Like I said, I'm always going to be for community and for handmade and for not with this fucked system, eh? But we're almost home. We're going to cut it short with the last little bit of kuju we got. And me telling y'all, hey, I'm still here. You can make it too, friends. We can all make it. We just gotta work together in the end. And hey, one more day, 4 more miles, and I bring food to my pets and my family. And I see 1 or 2 little monarchs where there should be a full flock. But they have trouble living in a wind tunnel. And in this particular wind tunnel, a good chunk of their food source gets mowed down. 1 second. Jesus, phone. There we go. You're making a terrible assistant, Pone. Most of their food source gets mowed down because it's an eyesore to the rich assholes. Though arguably this is the one part of the walk that isn't so bad because milkweed doesn't actually get that tall. It's a fairly low to mid-ground cover. Like I said, y'all, one day it'll get better, but I don't think little 1984 style cookie cutter shit houses are going to do it. What's going to do it is you and I and the citizenry that works their asses off getting tired and stopping. But then again, I don't know. Maybe by now they're ready to replace us all with robots. I can already tell you half of them ain't got no taste. But I will. Y'all be good. Stand together. Remember, community first. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I'll be able to do a live stream fairly quickly, but no telling. It all kind of depends on how quickly I can get the pets picked up and their crap picked up and any mess they made cleaned up. And then I'd like to at least get the litter boxes and maybe touch up the kitchen floor, but I don't know. I only get one day and then next 2 days start. I'm so tired, y'all. But we'll make it. Because what other choice do we have? Y'all be good, community first. Endure and survive, y'all. Sometimes I'm saying that to myself as well. That was a branch locked around my leg. That was unpleasant. But alright, y'all. Be good. I'll talk to you later. Possibly in an hour or so. Hey, friend. Boop. Open the shit out of it, YouTube. Are you going to respond? For YouTube, you ruins my sign-offs now, eh?